Alright, so I suppose I'm not gonna get any further surprises. I'll just take a quick round and come back and start shooting this video. Man, this has been hectic. This really has been hectic. This is going to help me understand how the mic is recording while the wind noise is completely on for this mic. So right now there should be enough wind for testing how the wind is being muffled, whether or not it's being muffled, whether it's getting more and more intrusive without the noise cancellation. We'll check that. So we'll just quickly turn to the other side. Alright, so today we had set out to accomplish two things on the video, one of which I've already messed up, and the second one is to shoot a video on how to do rev matching and engine braking on your motorcycle. Now there are many things in life which are easier said than done, and most of those things are the good things in life. They are easier said than done, but this is probably one of those things in life, one of those good things in life, where it's actually easier done than said. Why I say so, I'll just tell you in a bit, but trust me that engine braking is really not going to be as complicated when we are doing it practically than when you are going to be hearing me out. And that is, I'm saying to people who have never tried rev matching on their motorcycle. So what is the difference between rev matching and engine braking, right? So rev matching is the process of which engine braking is the consequence. So engine braking, basically, as the term sounds, you are going to be making use of your engine to exert braking on your motorcycle, right? That's pretty much what it is. Now how that happens, we are going to get into the theory of that in a bit, and then we'll quickly jump on to do some practicals. Alright, I'm hoping that my camera is recording everything nice and proper. So, if you know how to ride a motorcycle, I'm sure that you know that when you shift a gear down, and that is from 6 to 5, or from 5 to 4, or from 4 to 3, 3 to 2, 2 to 1, each time keeping the speed constant when you are shifting the gear down, you are basically increasing the number of revolutions per minute, right? So I mentioned to you that your motorcycle is at the same speed, which means that the speed of the motorcycle is not going to be changing. The speed of the wheel of the motorcycle is not going to be changing. So what that essentially means is that there is a change in the speed of the motor, but there is no change in the speed of the wheel, which means when you are suddenly dropping a gear without matching the revs of the engine to the wheel, you are going to feel a sudden jerk. So that, number one, is going to, make your ride a jerky one, which is against the idea of riding a motorcycle properly. That's number one. And more importantly, it's also going to create unnecessary friction within the engine, and in the long term the health of the engine is going to be compromised. So rev matching is one way of addressing and making sure that there is no buildup of unnecessary stress on the internal engine components. Now, why do I say that it's actually easier done than said is because you have already done half of it when you learn to ride a motorcycle. So there are three components involved. The first one is the clutch lever, the second one is the accelerator, and the third one is the gear lever. When you had learned to ride a motorcycle, you had learned how to engage the clutch and then shift up or shift down on the gear lever, right? There is just one third variable which is being introduced, which is to just blip the throttle. What I mean by blipping the throttle is basically we'll just give one quick sharp jerk on the accelerator, on the throttle. And why is that? That is because when the gear is being dropped from, let's say, from third to the second for a speed, let's say around 40 kilometers per hour, as you drop the gear from 3 to 2, the revs are going to climb. Let's say, for example, from 2500 to 3000. This sudden difference is going to give you a jerk on the motorcycle, right? Because suddenly you are trying to bring down the motorcycle speed, but the wheel is still not able to suddenly come to that particular speed at which the rotor is going to get the motorcycle to. So for avoiding that jerk, what we do is we give a slight blip on the throttle. Blipping the throttle basically avoids that jerk, and these three things have to be done parallelly at the same time. So the first action is just get the clutch cable engaged to anything more than half. At the same time, when we are doing that, just blip the throttle and shift down on your gear lever. So engage the clutch, blip the throttle, and shift down the gear. These three things will have to be done at the same time. So let's just look at it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll just go to some place where we are riding at a sufficient pace at a higher gear, and then we'll decrease the speed, or rather shift down. This whole place is sort of a off-road practice ground. Okay, so we are now going to be demonstrating that. I'm getting the motorcycle to about okay, time for a rev match. So each time that you rev match, you will basically hear the sound of the engine doing boom, boom, boom. So when that happens, you know for a fact that your engine braking or rev matching process has happened successfully. And one other signature of a correct rev match is that your bike would not give you a jerk. If your bike lurches forward suddenly, then that means somewhere the three things that we have described has not happened in sync. So when these three things, that is engaging the clutch, blipping the throttle, and shifting down on the gear lever, when they happen in sync at the same time, you are not going to see the motorcycle lurching forward. Okay, it's just a matter of practice. I'm pretty sure that if you practice it for about a week, you are going to be able to master the process of rev matching. Alright, so that's pretty much it. When I learned rev matching on my motorcycle, it became such a joyful experience for me that even to this day, more than my brake levers, the front and the rear brake levers, I always happen to rely on engine braking for reducing the speed of my motorcycle. Alright, it's very addictive as a process, so if you are new to rev matching and engine braking, just try it. Do not get disappointed if you're not able to master that during your initial 5 minutes of rev matching or on your day one of learning this. Just be at it and keep doing this for about a week. I'm sure that you will more than master the process of rev matching and engine braking. So with that being said, I would close this video. I would absolutely love to have questions from you if you have any. So feel free to share any sort of inputs or comments or questions or queries or doubts, anything that you've got, and you know the rest of the drill, right? Subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and like this video if you found this video adding any sort of value to your motorcycling experience. So this is the Rolling Nomad signing off for now. You take care, and I'll see you in yet another video. Bye bye. Time to go home.